Hi, Bryan Duncan here. I had a chance to go to Rich Bueller's life celebration. It was a chance for all of his friends and co-laborers to get together and speak some words of encouragement to Rich Bueller, who is struggling with cancer. I went to this and I actually prepared uh, something to say, and they told me to pare it down to 60 seconds, which that took by itself about an hour and a half just to cut that down to it would fit into a 60-second spot. Well, anyway, I get there and I meet, Rich, you got some of the coolest friends, and they cut a wide swath. It was like Pat Boone and Barry McGuire and Daryl Mansfield and John Townsend and Ralph Carmichael, which I used to be on his label. It was hundreds of people standing in line to say something to you, Rich, and I started to feel intimidated. As soon as those six psychologists got up and started sharing deep insight, I'm suddenly going, I was intimidated, And then Warren Duffy from Duffy and Company, and some of the most top of the line, top notch people who know how to deliver a speech, and I started to start getting twitchy in the front row, and they started complaining that, it was going longer than we had time for. And I felt like, well, somebody needs to sacrifice a few minutes. And I felt heroic almost, saying, I will step down. So I'd like to just read to you what I had prepared, Rich. My thoughts about you. I haven't been your closest friend, but I've been around you from the beginning of my career, and I have a couple of things to say, so if you don't mind, this is it. It's hard to imagine some notable men of God together. Martin Luther King and Jerry Falwell, Billy Graham and Francis Schaeffer, or how about Mike Yaconelli and J. Vernon McGee? It's hard to see them all sitting at the same table at the Last Supper. We all have specific agendas and callings revolving around our personal passion for Christ. But if anyone could bring us together around that supper table, it would be you, Rich. In my mind, you have been the most unique voice of Christianity as a whole. You have opened the windows of our collective souls and given us a sense of the bigger picture, while at the same time making us feel like one voice, united. Your voice on the air and at public events has set us at ease, even in the conflicts of belief. You have been the host for the Lord of hosts. Not only have you answered the call of God upon your life, but you have answered the door for those of us with similar callings who are not as readily recognized by the family of God. I see no one else filling your shoes, Rich. We are all die-cast oddities with little understanding of the whole purpose of God's eternal mechanism. But I see in you the cog that turns the hands on the face of God's clock. You make all of us feel like we're on the same team. Thanks so much for that rare quality. Jesus is not alone in saying to you, well done, Rich. You are a good and faithful servant.